As the U.S. Congress continues deliberations over the 2026 defense budget, one major strategic question looms large. Should the U.S. prioritize development of the Air Force's sixth-generation fighter, the F-47, over the Navy's proposed FAXX carrier-based platform? Recent indicators suggest that the Trump administration's recommendation to focus resources solely on the F-47 is gaining traction on Capitol Hill, signaling a potential realignment in U.S. military planning. If finalized, this decision could have broad implications, not just for inter-service balance, but also for America's strategic posture in the Asia-Pacific. By shelving the Navy's FAXX program, the U.S. may concede an early lead in carrier-based sixth-generation technology. China, which has already conducted test flights of 2 advanced prototypes, could become the first nation to operationalize such aircraft for naval aviation. This development underscores the complex trade-offs facing U.S. defense leaders. Amid persistent inflation and a gradually eroding defense industrial base, the Pentagon is being forced to make difficult funding choices. Years of counterterrorism operations, combined with a decline in domestic manufacturing capacity, have contributed to slower innovation in next-generation fighter technologies. Yet, some observers argue that financial constraints are only part of the equation. The decision to prioritize the F-47 over FAXX may reflect a broader reassessment of the U.S.'s strategic focus. The F-47's design, intended for land-based operations, aligns more closely with military requirements in Europe and the Middle East, regions where airfields are more abundant and where the Air Force can more easily project power. In contrast, the Asia-Pacific region presents a more complex operational environment. With its vast ocean spaces and limited number of accessible air bases, land-based aircraft face logistical challenges. Many of these airfields fall within range of missile systems deployed by potential adversaries, raising concerns about survivability and operational flexibility. In such a setting, carrier-based aviation becomes increasingly vital. Aircraft carriers act as mobile air bases, offering both reach and resilience in maritime theaters. Some defense analysts argue that the Navy's FAXX program would have significantly enhanced the U.S.'s ability to respond to security contingencies in the Western Pacific. However, with constrained resources and global commitments across 3 major theaters, Europe, the Middle East, and Asia, the U.S. may be choosing to emphasize capabilities that offer broader applicability. If 2 out of 3 strategic areas are better served by land-based aircraft, the argument goes the F-47 becomes the more cost-effective investment. Still, this decision has led to speculation about a potential shift in U.S. strategic thinking. While it may not signal a deliberate withdrawal from Asia, deprioritizing the Navy's sixth-generation program could indicate a reduced emphasis on competition in that domain, at least for now. Meanwhile, China continues to push forward with its own fighter development based on its regional defense needs. Free from the burdens of global military commitments, Beijing can tailor its systems specifically for operations in the Asia-Pacific. Its emphasis on indigenous innovation and sustained research efforts reflects a long-term strategy focused on regional preparedness. Ultimately, whether the U.S. has made a temporary tactical adjustment or is undergoing a more profound strategic transformation remains to be seen. What is clear is that choices made today will shape the aerial balance of power for decades to come.